2025 season 21 episode number 74. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We're presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at lg.com/OLED Evo. Welcome to the show. We got a few things we're going to get into today. We have a bonus day this week because there is no because we had an extra day coming off the bye. So we'll do some big picture stuff today. We're going to start by talking about the NFC, where the Cowboys sit in the NFC, and what they need to do if they're going to make any sort of run to make this season a playoff type season. And then a little later in the show, we'll get into a little bit of self-scouting. We'll look at some of the things that this team has done over the first half of the season and talk about areas where we think they have to improve and what that should look like if they're going to make those improvements. Let's start first, though, in the NFC.
Can I just say something?
Sure, absolutely.
I was watching Green Bay and Philly a little bit last night.
Did you fall asleep?
I couldn't watch the whole bunch because YouTube TV don't have ESPN, but I did find a way to bootleg. So I was watching.
You do realize that's national.
I don't know.
People listening.
I'm playing.
All right, good.
I ain't serious. They know I'm the joke.
Good. I want to make sure you just.
But
joke.
Brian, what's your name? Derek Eagleson. I was so upset.
I ain't Brian.
Derek. I was looking.
You're right. That'll be Brian Brothers.
I work with Brian. Derek Eagleson. I was so upset at the low scoring game. Not from a standpoint of like a boring game or something like that, but I was watching and I was like, you know what? These are two offenses that people tend to respect, and their defense are buying them time. They're buying time for the other side. And I just started hating. I was like, man, what if, boy? And I don't want to say nothing because they probably over there on the other side upstairs listening to it, boy. But I was like, man, how fire would it be if all our guys came back over showing them all the new additions, you know what I'm saying, Quentin Williams and the boys, and Flus just figures something out. And we in a situation where the Eagles got 10 points on us in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Oh, I would go to jail, Derek. I would go to jail. But I know that ain't the case.
Do you think that's the kind of jump this defense can make? Because I do think this defense can be better. And what I heard from pretty much everybody on this show was you don't need a great defense. You need at least an average defense.
They played some really good defense yesterday, and I think their offensive inconsistencies kind of showed throughout the night or whatever.
Now, Green Bay has been inconsistent offensively most of the year.
All year.
And lost their best player with Tucker.
But they're going to get passes because they won games, though. They're going to get passes because they won games. If the Cowboys, in which I think they are ridiculously good on offense, you don't have to be knockout shut down defense like that. You know what I'm saying? Just, hey, can we not have 20-something points on us in the third quarter? 24-7 in the third quarter. Give the Cowboys offense time to like figure things out and maybe make an adjustment. I thought about something the other day. I wonder how many offensive adjustments have we been able to make this year that like mattered, because you're always so behind in a lot of these games. You don't even get an opportunity to say, all right, guys, we're going to do this different. We're going to keep running the ball here, there, and then we're going to try to do this and try to make up for it. Yeah. You don't have that luxury because it's a damn track meet now. Mm-hmm. So I saw that game last night and I got jealous, and they're both conference opponents, and it makes me sick. You lost to both of them. Well, you lost one. You tied up.
Yep. Brian, you got something to say over there.
No, I mean, I was just sitting there thinking, I don't know if you're great on offense anymore.
Well, Brian, relax.
And that's, and to me, that's, when you start to talk about a team, or maybe a defense that, is, maybe it has to be a little bit better than what you thought. But I think there's some elements we saw some things offensively. The last couple of weeks, this offense has had its struggles. Whether it's playing the odd man fronts, the 3-4 fronts, whether they've had to, your quarterback has done a great job of avoiding pressures. Maybe the pressures have been there all year. Every time we come in here on a Monday, we break down the film, we talk to you and we say, well, what a great job by Prescott avoiding the pressures. And then we look at the pressure numbers when the metrics come out, and it's, that guy had 5. This guy had 4. This guy had 3. Oh, wait, your best player had 3, and, oh, your right tackle had 5, I mean, your quarterback has done a great job of avoiding pressure and making plays. That's the thing now I'm a little bit worried about, though, with your offensive line. The thing, though, that with the quarterback's ability to avoid the pressure, does that put even more pressure now on the defense? Because maybe you're not going to score 30, 40 points a game. Maybe it's going to be a little bit more of the offense is going to have those struggles. So I wonder. I think you're going to have to. I think you're going to have to. They're going to make a big swing at it in this Raiders game. And there's a couple of ways this thing can go. It could be locked down and playing well and everybody on the same page, or it could be like 5 new guys out there acting like they've never played together. And that's the thing that I kind of look at right now. It's like, which one of the defenses is going to show up? I don't think you're going to need a defense. If the offense is going to play the way it currently is, you're going to need a little bit more from your defense. And, that might be asking a lot, but they're going to take a big swing at it here up against the Raiders this week.
Well, Brian, I don't want to fuss. Amber, I'm sorry. Because Brian about to make me fuss. Brian, we just can't, the day before, talk about how great Pickens and Williams, and we argue about how great these guys are. We talk about Lamb and how great Ford is, and then come in here the next day. We ain't going to fight. And then just come here the next day and be like, well, I don't think y'all, because all the great.
The offensive line has not played well.
They haven't. You cannot
see the last couple of weeks. They have not played well offensively the last 2 weeks.
That's true.
They haven't. And look what Arizona did the other day in their game.
What do they do the best? What does the Cowboys offensive line do the best?
Well, they run block.
So you get taken out of that, right? So I have a feeling that my offensive line would be much better if they get to hit you first and then kind of pass block sometimes, right, Brian? But if it's a situation where,
I'm just saying this defense has to play better.
That's facts.
You're asking it to be the 29th best defense. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Not the way the offense is currently playing. It's not.
But my only gripe is,
and I have no problems. I think we talk about Pickens, we talk about Lamb, we talk about Williams, we talk about all these guys. Exactly. And we've kind of known the offense is going to have to carry this thing. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to carry this thing. But to me, like I'm saying, I think the defense is going to – I want this defense to get 2 more stops a game and see what happens. But if I'm getting 2 more stops a game, I don't need you getting inside the 5-yard line a couple of different times and not scoring.
You're not wrong. But at this part of the season, and we're not fighting, at this part of the season, everything's starting to kind of get figured out just a little bit more. Even the best offense in the league. The Colts have had bad days. The Bills have had bad days. Like, pick an offense. The Eagles, Green Bay, they've all had bad days. All I'm saying is for my beloved Dallas Cowboys is when they do have a bad – and look, the Cardinals are terrible on defense, for real, and the Broncos are fantastic, amazing on defense. But in the event that the Cowboys run into a defense that'll give them trouble, I just don't need the defense to give up 25 points at the half, because I do think that this offense is fantastic.
You're about to run through
You're
about to run through a gauntlet of teams, the Philadelphias, the Kansas Cities, and Detroit. And you're going to see you're going to see what your offense really, really is all about.
I can make an argument that you've seen the scariest defenses that you could possibly see right now. I think
in Denver? I think in Denver, absolutely.
I think Denver's defense is so different than the rest of those guys.
How about the Bears?
I think you got that's
how about Carolina?
Hey, that's fumbles.
How about Arizona?
That's fumbles and game flow. You ain't wrong, but that's fumbles.
I'm just saying though, you've got to. I mean, if you're going to really, if you're going to ask the defense, if you're going to ask this defense, and like I say, I am with you guys on this, but to me, it has got to be, you've got to be, Dak Prescott can't have a game where all of a sudden quick pressure affects him.
Sure.
And that's what happened in the Arizona game against a defense that doesn't rush the passer all that well. You've got issues at right tackle. You've got some major issues at right tackle.
Amber, I'm so sorry, Lewis says. I'm sorry. Amber, I'm sorry. What you about to say before me and Brian started fussing or not fighting?
I agree with Brian, though, if it matters at all. I agree with what Brian is saying.
I just said what you had to say. I just said what you had to say. I didn't ask you agree.
Okay, so I was going to say.
Don't speak loud, just please.
Because you keep mumbling. So I got to raise it up a notch to see if I overtake.
Just make it
When you initially posed the question, Derek, my initial thought.
What was the question? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think Vaj posed the question.
What's going on?
I'm so lost, but go ahead.
Something about the defense now and having hope in the second half of the season. I don't even know. But my initial thought was being optimistic about, okay, the trades that you made, the people that you're getting back on the defensive side of the ball, then hopefully getting a more solidified offensive line as they continue to play together, hopefully just create some kind of continuity there. But then I'm like, okay, you know what? let me pull up the standings real quick. Because one thing is to think about it. Another thing is to see it.
Sure.
I pulled it up. That optimism faded away very quickly because, again, not that I didn't know the record, but then when you see it visually, you're like, oh my God. Out of 9 games, the Cowboys have won 3, tied 1. And you're like, okay, it's not looking great. I think the team, they're going to improve. I think the defense is going to definitely show some improvement, but it might end up being a little too late of the timing of the season. And I think that's the problem. We're going to potentially head it towards the end of the season, seeing some really good things about this team and having hope of like, okay, well, you know, now you got this crew and then let's give it another year. But that's where I feel like it's at. It might be a little too late for it.
Well, that is the question that we're going to get into in the second segment. I actually have that ready for us to go. We'll do that when we come back. Real quick, though, I want to say, just for the record, I actually agree with Vach on this one.
Does anybody know who Fred Johnson is?
Fred Johnson's Fred.
Does anybody?
Welcome back, Cowboys Nation. This is Cowboys Nation Report, your front row seat into everything Dallas. Because what's happening right now isn't just a story, it's a turning point. Today we're going to talk about hope, resilience, return, about how the Dallas Cowboys are gearing up to shift the narrative, and we're going to zero in on one name that should spark excitement, DeMarvion Overshown. You've heard the trade deadline noise. Yes, the Cowboys moved for Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson. Big moves to stabilize the defense. Big moves to finally start doing something, rather than talking about shortcomings. But that's only part of the story, because the front office, led by Jerry Jones, isn't stopping at trades. There are players coming back, pieces that could reset this team's engine. And at the center of that return is Overshown. Jerry Jones said it himself in his interview on 105.3, The Fan. Overshown's rehab has been amazing. He's moving really good. He's been active in practices. A great, talented player, and overachieving is his makeup. That kind of endorsement matters. When your owner and GM says it, that's not filler. That is belief. And that belief spreads. Now, let's back up a little. Overshown, before his injury, posted serious numbers. 90 total tackles, 5 sacks, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, 4 passes defended, 5 stuffs, and an interception returned for touchdown. His PFF pass rush grade placed him 11th out of 83 linebackers. That's not promising, that's production, that's impact. So why does his return matter so much for this Cowboys defense? Because we know what the issue has been. For years now, this defense has been inconsistent, battered by injuries, lacking depth and identity. The pass rush has sputtered, the second level has been porous, the run defense has given up chunks. In short, the defense has cost the team in critical moments. But the return of Overshown singles more than just a healthy body. It singles a mindset. Think of it this way. When Overshown steps on the field, he brings the speed, the tackling, the chaseability, the edge closing we keep talking about. Combine that with the new additions, Williams inside, Wilson in the second level, and you've got a template for rebuilding. You've got a moment of truth. Let's visualize what this defense might look like. Overshown flying sideline to sideline, Wilson pointing out formations, Williams commanding double teams, the young cornerbacks and safeties settling in. Suddenly, the Cowboys are not just bodying up in games, they're influencing games. Suddenly, the offense doesn't have to carry every Sunday. Suddenly, the term crisis defense can start fading. And let's talk about the larger impact for the team, the culture, and the fan base. Big trades grab headlines, but returns like Overshown's feed inspiration. When the locker room hears that one of their own is back, healthy and hungry, it elevates practice, it lifts attitudes, it tightens focus. The team weaves that into energy. The fans, we feel it too. We don't just watch, we rally. Yes, there are caveats. There's no guarantee Overshown will play huge snaps immediately. There's the adjustment period, the chemistry rebuild, the defensive scheme tweaks. But the expectation now shifts. The baseline moves from we hope to we expect. The Cowboys aren't just attempting to fix their defense, they are about to upgrade it. And for you, the fan, this is your moment to return that energy. The jersey you wear, the voice you raise, the belief you carry, it matters. Because the star doesn't just sit on a helmet, it shines when the team around it rises with purpose. The Cowboys' bricks being laid right now will support big games ahead. So here's the summary. The Dallas Cowboys, under pressure, under scrutiny, are turning the corner. The return of Overshown, the incoming of Wilson and Williams, the resurgence of the secondary, all of it gives reason for optimism. This defense may not flip overnight, but flip it can. And for the first time in a while, we're not just watching for signs of recovery. We're looking for resurgence. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment. Do you believe DeMarvion Overshown's return will transform the Cowboys defense in 2025? What's the one stat you want to see improve? And while you're here, smash that like button if you're with the star. If you haven't already, subscribe to Cowboys Nation Report so you don't miss our breakdowns, reactions, and deep dives into Dallas football. We ride together, we believe together, and we win together. Go Cowboys!